I was just wondering, to call to order our October 25th, 7:18 p.m. Meeting of the Sustainability Board. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Could you join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first I'd like to ask for any public comment on non-agenda items. Anybody? All right, so first order of business, we'll have a presentation from Mr. Span.
I'm old, so I'm normally in bed about this time of night, so get ready to launch a cruise every morning to get solar. So that thank you for allowing me to come and visit you all. And I'd like to share with you an idea that we have that we would like to participate with Satellite Beach and an education scenario that we're preparing for all of Brevard County and many other counties. And we've already started one in northern Brevard County with Hospice of St. Francis. So I'll go right into it. Somewhere here it says slideshow, right?
We have to get it started. You have to wear my glasses.
Put that little button.
Right.
Thank you. Brevard Solar has been in Florida for about 8 years. We have about 700 solar systems throughout Florida. We have a whole bunch in Brevard County. We do about 3 million watts a year, and we think next year that might double. So we're having a lot of fun in the market as it continues to mature around us. In our give back, I'm an owner. My wife is the other owner. She's a retired chemistry professor, and I'm a retired business guy. And we've been doing this now. We really work. And I'm real proud of what's happening in Florida. One of our specialties is platforms and unique systems. So we always have a bunch of them in some type of prototype state. But I've gotten to know John and a few other people on the board over the last several years. We were always talking about what Satellite Beach was doing. We were pulling permits. We've worked with the engineering department for some time. And so it kind of went to the next level. I think the week before the hurricane, we were all in one of the maintenance shacks around here talking about some of our prototypes in the Satellite Beach. We'd like to have one or two of our prototypes, our solar spectrum prototypes. Brevard Solar is a Span family. We donate several systems a year. I've got solar panels in about a third of the elementary schools in Brevard County. We just literally drop them off and let them play with them. We make them safe because nobody's got shocked yet. But, we have a lot of panels out there. My wife and I go out and talk to the schools. Last year in 2014 and 15, we donated a 10,000 watt system to the Unitarian Church in West Melbourne. About 50% of it. We got the other half funded through the FPNL rebate and lots of other stuff. Didn't cost them anything. This year we are completing a 250,000 watt system in Titusville Hospice. We just finished it. We have a ribbon cutting ceremony. We actually turn it on next week. And after 9 months of brutal environmental stuff and all kinds of technical issues of getting this thing to work, after finding out the roof couldn't take half the panels we wanted, we now have it ready to go. Our solar donation activity is dedicated to educating students in the social and economic and environmental benefits of renewable energy. Primarily how it works. It's safe, it's pretty cool stuff. And hey, Josh.
Hey, Jim.
And so it's really a touch and feely stuff. At the hospice, so it's really, we call them environmental education centers. We plan to have 4 or 5 in Brevard County. We have a facility in Jacksonville. We'll have 4 or 5 in Duval County. We have a facility in St. Petersburg and the same there, where we have hundreds of systems that we started back in 2007 and 2008. Up in Titusville, we have a 200,000 watt solar farm that is going active, and we're building a 10,000 watt solar training pagoda patio to bring kids through. And just train them and train them and train them, let them walk through the farm. Rather than a corn maze, it's a solar maze. And the participants in this is Brevard Solar, Hospice of St. Francis, FP&L, yeah, even the utility company, and Brevard County School Board. So this is where you send your kids for field trips to learn about renewable energy, with lots of pretty neat stuff and interaction. We think with all the neat things that Stat Beach has done, and your solar smart designation, your sustainability focus, your solar enthusiasm, and the fact that you're pretty nicely centered where we'd like to have one out here at the beach, would be a pretty nice place to put one of our training centers. That's half of the solar farm at Titusville that's getting cranked out. About the 8th largest solar system in Florida, actually. Will produce, it comes out at about 210,000 watts AC. And right outside this, in this beautiful setting, now this is a beautiful white fence now, and is going to be a training center, a 10,000 watt pagoda design, and underneath there will be computers and all kinds of other stuff showing how the system works, and it's a flat training center. And it's not going to do a whole lot to their power bill, 10,000 watts, because they pay $25,000 a month in power between their two buildings. But in this entire environment, so kids will come out, we'll run classes through here, we'll walk them through the farms, that kind of stuff. We're working under two unique designs, one around the solar trees, and these things aren't very economically viable because they cost a lot more. Most of our systems are designed on purely payback. I mean, these things got to make good sense, they got to look good, and make your house more valuable than less valuable. And in some of our designs, it's about how cool can it look. And it's got to look neat and stuff, but how cool can it look? And right down here on 211 Oak Street in Melbourne Beach, in about 2 months, you're going to see 3 of those sticking out in front of a house that's currently under design. And they got wind tested in my backyard in Titusville last week, about a week and a half ago. So we know they'll do 83. But I got to get them up to about 160 out here. And every time I do these, I have 2 or 3 extra. And you know, I blow some up, I try and get them to work, I drive over with an airboat, I do anything I can to get them to fall open. And we're pretty happy with, I forgot how many panels I had in Brevard County, 3 blew off roofs out of over 10,000 in this last week. And we think the customer had messed with the attachments that they should have never come off. But we were a little nervous there. So we're working with John and talking to Josh and other people on the committee. We thought with what you all have been doing that you all might be a pretty neat candidate for one of our donated systems. We don't make any money, we don't get anything from this. But we only do it with the idea that we can use it as an education center. I mean, we literally bring these students through here in their field trips. And then we do this. We have a curriculum that's taught by a master degree educator. We bring in our engineers. Everybody gets to participate. So what is our education goals? Primarily, we want to reach out to the local and regional schools, elementary through high school. And I mean, 6th grade, you can almost get their attention, up to about sophomores. Where if you get those guys' attention, that's pretty cool. And I got a lot of kids, so I know how tough that is. Education goals, we want to see solar work. We want to feel the sun and the solar work together, because have you ever walked under a power line and felt that eddy current that comes out and touches you? It's kind of the same with solar farm. Bring the sunglasses out. Up on the roof of one of their buildings, we have 500 panels. And, the thing just watching who's produced. We have monitors up in their lobbies and stuff, so you can see how these things perform. To get the kids and everybody to see it, and then feel the environment. Benefits to the sustainability activity, benefits to renewable energy, benefits to the strong national utility grid. Why do we want FP&L in there? To talk about the national utility grid. Because none of this works without it. And, it's certainly a tough issue on Amendment 1 right now. and we all sit in odd cases in the model. But without that national utility grid, I mean, none of this works. So we have to constantly prop that up in our vision of sustainability. And who owns it? And I think that's still kind of a question out there from the Public Service Commission to the communities. Who owns the grid? And when solar is providing energy at peak hours during the day and sending it to your 5 neighbors all around, you know, who's benefiting from that? And who in the world is going to fuel the electric car? You put in all the electric cars in California right now, you black out the grid on the West Coast. So when solar is at its best, you know, that's when the utility company needs us the most. So if we can ever work out who owns the grid and how we can share it to benefit, you know, we don't want 15% of the energy right now. Regarding solar, in our education programs, our president, which is my wife, is a 30-year chemistry, high school chemistry teacher. And when you get through all of that, she actually loves solar, and she's an educator at the master's level and will be facilitating this. And actually goes to the school board and actually gets charters to bring the classrooms through, et cetera, et cetera. FPNL brings in their representatives. We think somebody on their sustainability committee would be a nice person to be on that team to talk about how communities take some of these technologies and kind of incorporate them. You know, both from the commercial side of this and then the social side of this. FPNL right now, we're in discussions with them and creating this at the hospice. And I think once we get past, you know, in the next election, get through some of this, they're going to jump all over this. But right now, we're all kind of spitting in each other's rice bowl. And then the Brevard County School Board, we've already contacted the people. We've been talking to some of the chemistry teachers. And the first of the quarter next year, we will go and develop this charter with them to bring through at least 50 classrooms a year through the Titusville facility. So, you all got some pretty neat parks. You've got a Manatee Park. You've got some other things that I've heard of that's kind of coming up in the future that you're working on. And I don't know what your goal is on that side. I mean, obviously to reach out and touch the manatees and stuff, but, you know, is there a role in the sustainability side for some of your new parks? We're working on 2 unique designs, a pagoda patio design. These solar trees. Our timing to donate this to your city is in the first or the third quarter. It takes about 4 or 5 months to get something like this even approved through your permit office and through the Florida Solar Energy Center and all of the other people that regulate us. You know, I think Brevard Solar and Satellite needs to consider, can we build a team that can start building this? I mean, how would we do this collectively? I mean, we're not going to get a tax benefit from this. I got enough on hospice for a couple of years. Property drum isn't that high solar. So I have lots to carry forward. So this isn't about a tax return or anything like that. It's can we create a charter within this committee to dedicate time and effort to training the kids? I mean, just that simple. You know, we know of 8 classes probably in Satellite Beach that would want to participate in this, all the way to being connected to some of the solar systems in their classroom to see how that's doing that day. And this neat as heck. And Josh will show you on some of his monitoring gear. I mean, you have the most beautiful curve, just like a sunflower. And boy, a cloud will go by and it'll drop to 0. And then watch that come back up. And if it watches to 0 too long, I get 500 people sitting around watching the monitor columns because it's still working. Where was the best place? What type would benefit the city? Who's going to get the power? You know, it's going to produce about 16,000 to 17,000 kilowatt hours a year, forever, 25 years. And that's the equivalent of $1,800 to $2,000 a year in today's money. And, you know, a typical escalation of 5 to 3% a year. Safety, liability. I would expect somebody in the city to oh, wait a minute, what about the liabilities here? I mean, some liability manager somewhere is going to say, how do we make this thing safe? Like we have to do all of our systems. And the next is just talk about This is a very close rendition of the one that's going up at 211 Oak Street, around a patio of the garden they have there right on the ocean, or on this side of the house, actually. And they're getting 3 of these trees. And they're cool. I mean, they don't look neat, they don't rotate. You know, it's 50% functionality and 60% high jazz. I mean, it looks cool. You know, it doesn't produce any more than if it was sitting on the roof. And but it sure does look neat. And it kind of gets that excitement level of it. The next one, this is the patio. I'm actually putting one of these up on the Merritt Island for a customer. I'm using the same design and footprint for the Training Education Center at Titusville. So so the engineering's done, you know, and that's kind of the neat part of donating. It's not all this cash and new equipment. Most of the engineering's done. The asset certification is available. So, you know, 2/3 of the engineering is sitting in there. And they're cool. I mean, you start looking at all of the various types of solar systems out there. That's one we did about 7 years ago. And you pick about any design that we would want. And this one, we're putting in one like this over in St. Petersburg right now. And they even get fancier. There's nothing to do with return on investment when you're looking at it that way. So that's kind of it. You know, we're interested in a social community to put together another training center, an environmental training center. You know, I know you guys interested or not. You don't have to tell me now, but somebody's going to get it. And we're going to do 2 next year. At Satellite Beach, and there's a VFW down the street that we're putting one on. And it's going to cover all of the bases. So that's kind of it, guys. Thanks.
Great.
Any questions?
Well, I should begin. I am not only an advocate of solar, I'm also a customer of Mr. Span here. He makes an excellent product. He has an excellent service. I don't know if there's any conflict of interest here, but just from what I know, I got more than what I paid for. We had a hurricane recently, you may have heard of. There are a few technical difficulties. First time I needed to use my aux power. His crew was working on the weekend to get it right. When it was said and done, out of his own pocket, he bought me a generator just to get my wife happy for that day and a half. We had no power. So this is a good guy. And if there is no conflict of interest, I would even go so far as to volunteer. He mentioned wanting a board member to kind of assist and help educate with solar. I'd be happy to do that. I'm not getting paid. I'm just a customer. Money's going the other way, in case anybody's curious. And I don't know. Questions, comments?
Well, if nobody else will, I'll make a motion, we take him up on the offer and start the work on it.
I'll second that.
Mr. Ferguson motion. Member Gibson second.
Eugene Matthews,
Yes.
Josh Paz,
Yes.
David Floyd,
Yes.
Mindy Gibson,
Yes.
John Fergus,
Yes,
Jeff Chasteen,
Yes.
motion carries.
so really the question is, how do you want to go about this now that we've said we want to get involved? And I guess, Courtney, does council need to take a hack at this?
Yeah.
Okay. But assuming they said yes,
I would be shocked if they say no.
yeah, I know, then
But-
the question is, what does Mr. Span
Well,
see as
this
the
is-
next step?
We were envisioning this to be at the DeSoto Field project, which is on track for next year's construction, so we would just coordinate with them and install it at the
Okay,
time
but
we
it
construct
looks
the
like
park.
he wants to take some time to do some, he's got different ideas and, what design you want and how you integrate it and everything. So there will be some coordination needed there.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, just with the construction of the park with David and Alan and everybody.
Okay.
It'd just be another component that we add to the park. We're all very supportive of it. Staff was very excited. I think it fits in the mission of the Sustainability Board perfectly, and as well as the city's goal of putting our public buildings on solar. So,
Yeah, Jim and I spoke a couple weeks ago, and I had mentioned that we were talking about the DeSoto Stormwater Pond Park, combine both words. And I think that's a great opportunity because we were talking about kiosks for lagoon education, for manatee education along the canal there where we're going to put the kayak launch and well, we know the manatees go up there all the time. So this is an opportunity to also provide solar education and do them all in one big package. So, and I think it's a win-win, actually.
Yeah. And the solar also provides some space, or will provide a reason to put some shade structures in too, which we were all excited about as well.
I do have a question about where's the power going to go? Could it be possibly used to light up
That's what we're
the
planning.
pathways and that type of thing, so we're using?
That probably wouldn't come near using what it generated. Probably what you'd do is run it down to, Alan, where does the power come into the park there? Is it in the bleacher area?
In the bleacher area, yeah, we could probably run the power down and maybe run the ball field lights at night, or, you know, I mean, that's one of the heaviest costs, you know, during the summertime is ball field lights, so that would help. And if there was a way to tap into it and also, you know, light, because our plans are to put a walking path around the proposed pond, so we can, you know, provide some bollard lighting and power those up with the solar.
I love it. It's a great idea.
So that would be a standalone system, not grid tied and with battery backup, or?
Oh, I'm sure we'd have it also tied into the grid. I'm not sure how all that works. I'm not a solar guy at all, knowing how it all works together, but, you know, I'm sure we come up with a plan to make sure that, you know, it wouldn't be a standalone system, I'm sure, you know, because all year round, I don't know if you're going to get what you need to power the lights and possibly the tennis hut and things like that, so I don't know. I have to get into it with Jim and find out exactly what would be available as far as electricity.
Is there going to be a fountain there?
Yes.
Fountain might be another
Yeah.
good thing to try to power with it, because it doesn't have to, you know, if you get, it could be directly connected.
Right. Yep.
We do recommend a grid tie. That means you optimize the use of the sun during the 5 hours a week, 365 days. It doesn't matter when you use energy or how you use it. You know, you pick a meter, you put your new construction in, and distribute your energy off of that, and get the grid in, for
Yeah.
sure.
You know, another thing, and this was just a thought popped in my head, if we did this, I'd have an electric car charger there. That is solar charging.
That's kind of cool.
Certainly maintenance target.
You're going to need a bigger array, I think.
Well, it's just the beginning, it's, you know,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of room out there to do other things, so.
So how big of an array are we talking?
They're about 50 by 20, you know, a solar farm, I mean, the trees take different, it'd be 36 panels, and each panel's about 5.5 by 3.5 feet. You know, the neat part about this, we get to point it to the sun perfectly, so when I expect 80-85% of the DC to be AC. And again, whether this is the most optimal, I mean, I'm not working on an ROI like I normally am. I'll be doing certain things here to segregate the arrays as a part of the education, so we can see how different cells are working amongst themselves. So there'll be screens this side up underneath there, so the students can actually see a video screen of not only how it was made, but how the system is working.
Will you have microinverters or string?
I hate I don't like micros as much as everybody else does, because they cost more and negatively affect the ROI, and they add no value. Only unless we have a shade issue, and since we get to control the terrain, we shouldn't have a shade issue. And if we use one of our centralized inverters, though I might have 8 strings or subarrays within one centralized inverter or 2 centralized inverters, I was going to recommend using the ones that have some emergency power in it when the sun is up and the grid is off. in which many people got a lot of benefit for this last storm. So you have a little emergency power in the park.
Yeah, that is a nice benefit.
And we had to call a lot of customers up and remind them that only work when the sun is out. Night time is nothing.
Imagine.
So this system would have the same inverter mine does, where you could check online to see. So just to show everybody how cool this is, you've already seen this one. This is just my roof today, rather cloudy day, and it shows we made 38.8 kilowatt hours of power, offset 59 pounds of carbon dioxide emissions. You get these beautiful graphs for data nerds like me, and we can make this data available to everybody, just to show, hey, check it out. This is the offset of this right here.
Put it on our website.
Absolutely.
Or interactive classroom experiences. The kids are going electronic in the classroom, where they can tap all of this. I mean, right now, every solar system and satellite feeds, I can go to my computer and see how it's doing. I can parlay Josh's system to the Chitty system right down the road to see, even how they're performing. And even to the point that if they're not operating within certain upper or lower control limits, that we get warnings. If his system's not producing, he gets a text sent to him. And, it's just a part of this point-of-use energy production that truly is a sustainable element of, I think, what it could be Earl's Charter. And to hear that you all already had education for your Manatee Park, I mean, this just seems like another chapter in the education protocol. And we know how to do this. This is what we do. And we love this stuff. And we think we're going to make money next week. If we get this part done, we're cool. So, we get excited. Everybody does this. I mean, everybody out of our office comes out. Our engineers, our front office people actually come out and get up on the roof and install these dedicated systems. And no one in our company, right down to there's no one very unimportant, but the lowest person in the chain does everything. I mean, literally. The girls in the front office that do a lot better job of running it than I, they all have rooftime experience. And we're the only solar company in Florida that our licensed contractor is a lady. And 30-year chemistry high school teachers, they're not saying nothing.
Sold.
She gets a little rough. I've got a 4 o'clock meeting tomorrow morning in St. Petersburg. So I'm going to head out, if you all don't mind. And we don't need for anything more. We love business plans. So we would like your business plan. We would sit down with your designee, and we would create a model on how to do this.
Okay.
And bring it to you all to say, look, we think we've got some multiple designs that would fit, not just from a high performance standpoint, but very harmoniously fit into what you're building out there. So as this architecture starts to form, we'd like to incorporate it in our design.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
Thanks.
That, what started as, really kind of a stormwater project is going to end up being really sort of something of a, I don't know if this is to coin a phrase or whatever, but it's kind of a sustainability destination. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on there that, has not only value of its own, but, a heck of a lot of educational value just sitting there.
Yep.
I took a lot of bids before I bought a solar system, and that is the hardest working crew in Brevard. There was a hurricane. It was a Sunday. There was no power for a third of Brevard, and these guys were still out there working their butt off in that hot sun, making it right. What more could you want? So, big endorsement from me. My money is where my mouth is, for whatever that's worth. So.
I'm excited. I think it's a good idea, isn't it?
I think we'll have to put this out there and help people get on board even more.
I'd love to see the
data for the stormwater part that we could look at, propose.
We have a concept right now. It's under engineering. The pond part of it is engineering right now. Could you get David to send us the concept?
I have the original concept, which probably won't change much. So, your next meeting, maybe I can have that available for you, or stop by my office anytime.
Just
and-
email it
and-
to Julie and she'll send it out to him.
All right, well,
we
I'll
have
have to, I don't know if I have it electronically, I'm sure David does, so
Okay.
I can get something over.
I definitely would like to see that.
Well, maybe we are moving towards the DeSoto Sustainability Park.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I actually do too.
What if we, does the city have a landscape architect? I mean, is there such a thing in, what if
We
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 find
have
a
an
landscape-
architectural firm, but landscape architecture,
Mangrove Man right there.
yeah, we usually use our beautification board for all our landscaping plans.
I wonder if we
And
find.
Public Works.
I wonder if there exists a landscape architect that would want to, I mean, even to some extent volunteer some time to be part of a project like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that could be found. Because that's going to be a pretty special
Mangrove
place.
Man,
Well,
he has
what-
zero-scaping.
yeah, what would
He's right there.
Put him as superhero.
We wouldn't need that
I like it.
service, because we use Public Works pretty much, and they're all, we have arborists on staff, and we have the beautification board that generally puts together all of our landscaping plans, all native landscaping, needed like Pelican Beach Park, that type of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'll just say as an environmental scientist that does landscaping, that the city has done a great job with everything that that you guys have done out there. It's really impressive, so keep up the good work. If you do need a consultant, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find one, not too hard.
Anything else?
I just wanted to add that I go up to Titusville a lot, and Titusville just completed their stormwater park, or I think it's almost complete. It is beautiful. It has a fountain in the middle that they light up at night, and
I had nothing.
Take some pictures, hey, can you take some pictures of that for me?
I have some pictures.
Can you
on
send
my
them to me?
phone, But, yeah. I'll
I
try
have
to-
some, I definitely have some use for
It's
them.
very, the only place or agency I know of that builds fenced-in stormwater ponds that are not nice to look at is DOT. Most cities and counties build them to look nice. And, I mean, if you go to Viera, those lakes are not lakes, they're stormwater ponds. And, and so that's how they're constructed now. So when people talk about, this pond being a ditch or whatever, it's just not true. We always planned it to be a Gleason Park-like setting with park amenities from day one. Yeah.
I saw a really cool thing. We went to Lakeland to evacuate, and this is kind of just on a side note because we probably aren't going to have any over there. But they had, there's a big lake, and they had a baffle box that they had like a glass dome over top of it and a whole educational setup going on over there. Will we be using any type
That's
of baffle
cool.
boxes like by that lake? Would that be something, or somewhere else that we could put that up and do
There are two of
something
them
like
on
that?
that property.
There's actually three.
Three?
Yeah, there's three.
Okay, yeah.
We have three baffle boxes now. They have one in Palm Bay, right off of Malabar Road, that has a glass top on it as well.
Would that be
Yeah.
possible to do? I think it'd be really cool. It's cool to see how it
Yeah,
works.
the ones that we have now, the one that's perpendicular to the road has a graded top, so you can actually see down inside of it.
Yeah, but that graded top's the one that's beginning to show its age, right? I mean,
A little,
replacing-
not too bad.
We could look at that because that would be part of the educational process of the park.
Right.
Yeah.
Because my kids, I mean, they just watching the process of how it works, and just looking at it and having all the information there. And if we're setting the pace there, I mean, we are talking baffle boxes,
Right.
pretty
It's a good idea.
serious.
Yeah, and it probably wouldn't be that hard to have
Yeah.
a plexiglass top put on it.
It would be a good points for the grant too.
Yeah.
Because the other part of that project, we have a grant already that we received from the federal government, and that's 50%, correct? 60%.
Yeah.
And then the next grant that we'll be writing is the TMDL grant, which is
Yep.
another
Half of our match.
half of the match. So by the time we get done with the project, and then the recreational components of the project, we'll be submitting a FERDAP grant for that, and I think that's
And possibly a fine grant.
40% of the cost. And possibly a fine grant for the kayak part, piece of it. So, we do try to get grant funding for these projects. So looks like it's probably a $1.2 million project so far, because we keep adding stuff to it. But we do offset it quite a bit with grant funds.
Thank you.
All right, some information on mosquito spraying?
So when Brevard County had announced after they did the spraying that they were going to spray, we received a lot of phone calls from concerned residents about the aerial spraying and, why would we allow that and so on. And so when we followed up with the county on what that spray was, and it's actually not a chemical spray. It's actually what they deem like a bug that it's a naturally occurring bug, but the what is it? The larva. It's a larvicide basically. The larvae eat it, and then it turns toxic and it kills the larva. So it is not an adult side chemical. So the Natural Resources Director wanted me to make sure people were aware of that. There's still a lot of questions I'm trying to figure out, like if it is sprayed in like the pool, if pools are affected, could kids go swimming right after that? Is there a problem with that? Stuff like that. So we're still working through that. We got sidelined by the hurricane with finding a lot of this information out, but we are still working on trying to get some answers for you all on how that works.
They said there's nothing else in it. That's the only thing they've got in it, or they?
Well,
just said
there
that's
is,
the only thing they have in it?
well, there's always the medium that it takes it out to, so that, I'm sure has something in it, but it's not that NALED or, what people assumed it was.
Still not that great, but yeah.
It could be ingested
So-
by other things, right?
Well, that was the reason why they use it, is that it does not have, it's very, and this is what they say, it's targeted to mosquitoes. So if, for example, a bat tried to eat it, or bees, it doesn't kill bees, things like that. So it doesn't affect other animals. Now, I think it might affect other, like flies and stuff like that, like other animals that are, insects that are the size and shape of a mosquito, but it doesn't kill honeybees and it doesn't kill bats. So because that was one of my questions, is like we're bringing the bat house idea to council, and we want to install them. So if we do all this, is this going to kill all the bats when we put them all up? And the answer was no. So, but I do still have questions.
Spray for?
They actually were only going to do that. And the reason why they did spray us was that they have these little traps all over the county, and that traps mosquitoes, and then they take them and test them, and they found Zika mosquitoes at Sea Park. So that's why they only did Satellite Beach, because people are like, well, why didn't you do any Atlantic? And it was only, so they don't just go out and indiscriminately spray the whole county. They go out and spray the areas that show they have that type of mosquito.
Well, yeah, I was going to
present.
say, I'm looking for clarification here. The Zika-bearing mosquito, which I think is
They do
synonymous or
both.
whatever it is,
So
but
they have-
not Zika-infected necessarily.
No, they will obviously spray if it's Zika
Karen?
carrying, but they also spray for the mosquito that typically carries Zika virus, and it's this daytime mosquito, yeah. So that's what they found at Sea Park.
But they did not find Zika-bearing, like they have in Miami.
I don't think they test that far at the county
Just
level.
the Aedes
Yeah.
aegypti or Zika infected?
Yeah, I don't think
that's what
they,
you're asking, right?
Yeah, and I think what I'm hearing is
it's the
Just
type of
behind the Aedes
mosquito.
aegypti, yeah.
Right. It's the type of mosquito, not, they don't do little tests on the little mosquitoes for that. They see that they have that type of mosquito in the area, and then they will spray that area. So, but we are trying to figure out, what are the other side effects that could possibly affect our residents, and so we're still working on that. So we'll let you know when we get that. We do, legally, we are required to authorize aerial spraying, and we did that 3 years ago, and it's good for 3 years. So next year it'll be coming up. So that will be at a time when we bring it back to council and authorize that. So it would be good to have an opinion and a good background on that before that happens.
Any public comment? Any other questions or comments from the board?
If you have individual comments, call me, or questions, or any specific, sometimes I don't think of everything to ask, so if you do have any of those, just email them to me or call me, because I am going to try to schedule a meeting with I talked to the director, who's, sometimes the lower level staff has more detailed information, that's who I'd like to meet with. But there is the opinion on the county level that if we opt out of spraying, that we are endangering people who may have concerns. And I would say, from a person who's out there talking to both sides, it is about a 50-50 split of people who are worried about Zika virus and people who are worried about the spray. So it's kind of that, cost benefit that you have to weigh.
All right. Discuss, take action on Founder's Day participation.
All right, I got some show and tell. If you bear with me for a second.
You don't have a trailer park down front?
No, not the trailer yet, but I've got the next best thing. These are our bags. Wow. Look at this handsome looking logo right there, a little blurry, but it's fine.
First one that you had.
I know you do. And this is all Courtney Barker gets all credit. This is what we were giving out, the old style.
Boo.
Boo. This thing stinks. Who would want this thing? And the new awesome bag. Hooray. What makes this thing so great is that, I'll demonstrate, and I'm not wearing my usual fancy clothes.
Roll into a little ball.
Right, exactly right. I always screw up when I demo, but the idea is something like this. Just squeeze them up like so.
And you can wash them.
And you can wash them. They are machine washable. Both of them are. Yes, they are.
This way too, if you forget to grab those as you're pulling out of the house, whoever's still at home can just launch them to you and let it crack as you're going down the street.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Every time I go to the store, I get to the door, I go, and I walk
That's what
back
I
to my
thought of
car.
when I got that. I was
and I
like,
get my
yeah, I
bag.
could throw it at people.
That's exactly right. So that's Plan B for Founder's Day. If we can't get the float, we're just going to chuck these at people's heads.
Right.
But
One of those cannons.
that's even better. If we get funding for the cannon, I vote cannon.
Oh, you need
But
the air compressor for it.
here,
Your
you
cannon.
know, pass these on down. Everybody's seen them.
Huh?
Anybody wants to take a look at these?
Oh, I don't know. He has an existing stick. So the first one, the bag brand that you like, I didn't like it. 'Cause I felt it was too small. We'll try it. Here, this is a lot nicer.
Yeah, that one's bigger.
I like this one better.
For the record, because I'm insane, I took a 45-pound.
$5 a round though?
No, I.
Oh, actually, let's.
It's showing fun. Very excited. I don't want to ruin everybody's fun.
See, this one has a thick line.
It does. This one is a little bit weaker because it's just cotton.
Yeah, get back in a really
It's just
cool G.I. Joe
there.
parachute out.
They're not great, but that one is solid. That one you can take 50, 60 pounds on if you wanted to. So, they're very excited to show it, so I feel bad. Okay,
Sustainability Joe.
but. So cheap.
You know what's missing with this whole thing?
Yeah, it's awful.
A
Please
place
sustainability band.
where they can hang these and fill them. Because anytime I take these out,
No. Well, we got mangrove
they don't
man
know what to
right
do.
there.
They
So,
hate
like the bat signal, we're just gonna shine a mangrove up in the sky. That's your cue. We need the mangrove. Mangrove man. You just got a mangrove right there in
Did we
the,
ever go anywhere on the mangrove thing, the growing? Where did we end that?
okay. We should probably get, we having too much fun? I don't wanna ruin the fun. Food for thought. Point of order. The Chicago Cubs are playing the Indians in Game 1 of the World Series for the first time in my lifetime right now. So, food for thought, that might be more fun to look at, and we might want to get some of this done. I don't want to ruin our fun, I know we're having fun.
I always do it.
Point well taken.
So,
Ross needs to speak.
right, just the key point of, oh, sorry.
So we were going to take some action on the Founder's Day participation.
So this is all corresponding, right, this is all corresponding to the website helpthebeach.com, which had a rough pre-launch today. Found a few bugs. The good news is I fixed the bug I found with you. The bad news is I found 3 more, so I'm still going to knock those out. We're probably a day or 2 before we're ready to go. But it'll take payment, it'll track everything. I'm pleased to announce we've already raised $40 for the Sustainability Board vis-a-vis the Recycling Fund through me harassing the city staff to donate for some of these bags. So I hope I can encounter just every one of you. Just for the record, I'm not lying. And I get a list of everybody's name, too, and I know where some of you live. So please just keep that in mind. Okay, joking aside, because I would like to see the World Series, because my beloved Cubs are playing for the first time in 71 years, let the record show, just in case I'm dreaming. We have Founders Day coming up, and my vision and the vision that came from Surfrider was, wouldn't it be cool if we did a big parade float that was made out of those awful single-use plastic bags in the shape of a giant sea turtle? Because, in case anybody's unaware, where it really comes home for Satellite Beach residents, our turtles eat the bags, and bags aren't food, and that's very bad for turtles, and that's the short answer on that. So to help make people more aware of that, bring it home, I would like to collect, and Julie, by the way, is amazing. She is suffering through me and basically running this whole campaign on behalf of the City Hall here to make sure we can distribute the bags and handle all the donations. And what I'd like to do is get everybody to donate as many of those grocery bags, and I imagine a lot of you have the same as I do, a big pile of them somewhere at home. Bring them here into the city. Let's get a big collection. I think this is a great photo op, just to see, look, we're a tiny little town. There's about 10,000 people in Satellite Beach, and look how many bags we have, right? Imagine what a New York City or Los Angeles goes through.
You know, probably Publix wouldn't have a problem with letting somebody empty their recyclables.
That is true, and that's a plan B. In other words, we can get more bags. We have enough bags to kill a turtle, literally. So what I'm hoping to do is, well, and that's what I'd rather do, is to make a turtle. And
Bag mache.
And what I'd like to do is, when I do put that photo out, is say, look, this isn't just recycling the junk Publix already had. No, this is the stuff we already had in our homes. This is just what our town had sitting at home, because I think it's profound. I opened my little thing, and it's just a giant monster of bags. And I don't use them anymore. But they still slip them with the chicken, or my wife will come home with one, or whatever it is. You can't get rid of these things. Excuse me. So, to bring it to action, Help the Beach, we can officially announce within a few days. I just want to finish bug testing it, make sure it's totally going to work so there's no problems for the people using it, and bring in as many plastic bags as you can to the City Hall, and tell everybody you know who's got some, please bring them, and let's get as many as we can, because that's exactly what I like to do, is make a big old sea turtle float, and I think that would be really fun.
How you gonna make it?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
This is where I defer to people.
Bag mache or contrast?
Julie will vouch. Julie came to a Surfrider meeting with me, and I've got far more talented people than me, hopefully, to help put this together. Like I said, we have a plan B. We're just going to get the cannon and shoot the bags at the people, which I like. That's not a bad idea. But hopefully, the big fear, of course, is we don't want to get a big pile of these bags and then marching down the street only to watch a bunch of garbage. Right. And then that's the worst thing to do. So,
Why don't you just throw the one single-use bags out?
There's
right.
a lady who is part of the Lions Club that crochets dresses out of plastic bags. I mean, she's actually done that. And
Who?
And the ladies that crochet the mats for the vets. Yeah. I wonder if we could ask them to help us.
I'd mentioned it.
Okay.
I just need to bring it.
Yeah.
Fruition.
Okay.
Like blankets on them?
Yeah, like mats. Yeah, they tie them together and make like a long, and then they use real big crochet needles and they crochet like mats. For the vets,
what's her name?
They're really squishy. Yeah. So we could probably ask them to show us real quick. I'm sure it's not that hard. And make the turtle out of it.
I think we can do it. For the record, Eric Schwartz, who is the head of the Rise Above Plastics for Surfrider, he is a master carpenter by trade. So it's not a lack of talent, it's a lack of time, because the hurricane came, he's just been real busy. A lot of people had damage to take care of and so forth. But it's, he's got the talent. We just got to sit him down.
Wire or something.
Chicken wire and then
The easiest thing,
mold it
create-
out.
There's plenty of political signs you can use.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm
Recycling.
not going to comment on that one.
Just like, no comment.
No green and white ones.
Yeah, listen.
So,
What now?
got our wire.
Right on.
Yeah, we have wire.
We will be okay. Well, and plan B, we can always just get a cannon and shoot it at the kids, they'll love it. So, I mean, no, I'm teasing, I think we'll be okay. Even if we don't get to actually make the float, because for some reason we find that's unfeasible, I will take responsibility of all
Have
these
your
bags.
banner, you know, and so you could put that on the side of the truck.
Right.
Or a truck.
Or an electric car.
Right. Oh, that'd be cool.
Better. If nothing else, I want a photo of a ridiculous amount of bags, just to make the impact of, this is what our tiny little town.
the trailer?
My car.
Your car.
That was the deal to get the Surf Rider guys to do this, they get to destroy my car. So
You
that was
could
the trade-off.
use an electric car.
I don't have an
Okay.
electric, it's an old,
We can
No,
maybe
but
call,
what about, Josh, what's his
yeah, we
name?
can call and see if he's willing to drive it in the parade.
Car?
Because what you could do is we could tie a bunch of them together
Mhm.
and pack them in the trunk, like they're overflowing out of the trunk.
that's a good idea too.
And then y'all could just put your banner on the side of the car and walk behind it and then throw out your bags.
I like that a lot.
That way, it's not a lot of time effort of creating a big turtle, even though they were really pretty, but it looks like, you know, getting close and it might be hard to do. you know.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, that's a plan C, so.
That, we got Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, let's see what we can get, let's see how many we
Would you
can
like me to
collect.
see if they would be willing to drive in the?
Please.
Okay, we can.
And
do
you
that. Yeah.
have a trailer, John, that we're allowed to use for the, last meeting, forgive me, we discussed
Yeah, I
the
need,
trailer.
yeah, it's a, like 6x8 trailer or something like that. I'll need to find out what the, wall size is, I guess.
Perfect, so as long as the other Josh's electric car can handle that trailer, I don't think we'd have a problem.
Larry's got access to a car.
I've got a trailer too.
Oh, even better, great, right on.
What, have we,
Wouldn't expect an electric car to have a hitch.
I don't think they're gonna have that. So if you want the trailer.
My car doesn't have one either.
Yeah, if you want the trailer piece, you need a truck, so,
Okay,
okay, yeah.
Mine's,
I saw a Prius with a trailer hitch on it.
Or an SUV,
Honest to
whatever.
goodness.
Yeah, some ridiculous stuff.
yeah, mine's super lightweight, so,
no, no.
Oh, maybe you can.
I wouldn't put one on mine.
Volkswagen, so.
Well, I have this old convertible, so the talk was building like a turtle that went on top of like a canopy over the convertible. But again, that might be a little ambitious, and we'll see as we,
but if you had,
Just paint your car.
if you had the
like a
old
turtle and
VW,
plaster those
that's
bags
already
on
kind
it.
of got the shape, so.
let's see.
I wonder if there was anyone, too bad we didn't think about this with the VW thing, we could see if anyone wanted to.
Well, the
their
guy
bug
that
somewhere.
runs that works at Public Works.
Maybe his Volkswagen Bug we could turn into a plastic bag turtle.
That would work.
If,
They might not want you to do that with
Yeah.
their plastic car.
Well, no, I'm saying like when they need the paint, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
either in that stage or it doesn't matter. It'd be kind of cool. Come on, it would look cool. No.
Well, let us know whatever you need, and we'll call,
Right on.
and do whatever you need.
In the meantime, your old single-use plastic bags, that's what I want. As
Okay.
many as you got at home, please, bring them on in.
Okay, so that was the discuss part, and the take action part, we're all bringing in our bags.
Are we also gonna have a table? We're gonna have a booth for Founders Day, or?
I think we agreed not to do that,
Okay,
because nobody was able to man it.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Were they gonna,
Honest to goodness, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go to that parade because both of my sons are in Boy Scouts and they are not in the same troop because one defected and the other one didn't, the other one wanted to stay loyal. But we have scouting for food on that same day.
Sure.
So,
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I can get it up on, as soon as you get it on YouTube. give it
all
to me.
right, next item of business, project updates from board members. We'll start at that end and work our way this way.
Yep.
We're asking about project updates from board members.
I'm gonna skip myself this time.
I think I just took my turn, unless there's more you want to hear.
Member Gibson?
no, no updates.
I don't have any update on anything, but I would like to say that the stuff I'm seeing about that, about the lagoon-friendly lawn, the little contractor's corner there, I mean, you know, we've got, 4 contractors that already signed up and got certified, and 1 that is kind of in the hopper.
We have 3 now in the hopper.
Oh, really? Since that email, 2 more. And, I mean, every once in a while, I'll share some little thing from KBB's website onto Facebook, and it's remarkable to me, I mean, whatever this is worth really, but it's remarkable to me how quickly people see those things and put lights on it and everything, and that's got to somehow ultimately translate into, some of those businesses getting a phone call at some point. And I think it's really a good idea for us, and I've done this, because each one of those people already had their cards from that first, and some of them I had their cards from like seeing them on the street before we had that first public forum, to like try and push them out there a little bit and get some, refer them and that sort of stuff. Please.
Anybody's interested, the solar co-op is open. You go to FL Sun and go to the Space Coast, and you go in and sign up for be a member of the co-op. And apparently they're having like 40% participation rate among the people that sign up. So it'd be nice to have a lot of people in the city. And John Stone says he won't have an inspection problem or anything, so we're going to max out the participation. That's it on that. Oh, Courtney, has anything happened on the Fourth Pace organization? I sent you that material a bit before the storm, but it's probably kind of dropped off the table.
Yeah, we haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay. Because that's ready to go anytime staff is ready to, take it to council. So that would close out that chapter.
We will get to it as soon as we can.
Now, I realize there's been some distractions. So.
Yeah, I want to know when that debris is getting picked up.
All the wood and stuff, Courtney.
You're on the wrong street, ours is gone.
I think ours got picked up, for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's good.
That's all.
Thanks very much.
Or you can do like me and cut it up and put it in the carts, cartload at a time, and let it disappear gradually.
Oh, we had so much.
It's
amazing
just
how
the
much you
large
can throw
oak
out in
trees
your
that you
garbage
can't get
can.
that.
I don't know, I disposed of a carrotwood tree that the trunk diameter was about that big. It took me, I think it was 21 cartloads.
You have a lot more patience than I do.
Yeah,
So the community garden, it's kind of been put on the back burner because of the hurricane and everything, but I want to get back working on that.
We're pricing out everything right now for that.
Who's doing that?
Alan,
Does he need some help with that?
I think they need some help with how you all want to handle the rain barrel issue.
Yeah,
That's the biggest question mark. Everything else is real easy.
okay. Yeah, that is a big question,
Mhm.
how to support.
And I think we had to cancel that meeting because of the hurricane.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and reschedule that tour. And
So does council still have to, well, we just have to give them a budget?
Budget, yeah.
And it just has to be under 5,000?
it could be over. I wouldn't recommend it to be over, though.
Right.
Just looks better to be under.
Definitely keep it below that.
Yeah, and it's really just materials. I mean, all the labor is going to be donated, I think, or covered by Public Works. So.
I for one would be happy to donate some labor on that stuff.
Oh, that'll be fun. I think we'll have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, that will be fun, especially now that it's cooler.
Yeah,
And there's no Zika.
we need to get it done. Yeah, that's true.
What's the story on doing the landscaping around the City Hall pond?
That event's December 10th. Yep. So the Marine Resources Council, we've got that agreement all done, and
So it's ready to go.
Nicholas is working on it, yep.
Yeah, I don't have any updates. I was just interested in community garden as well, so.
So that
If
one
you guys
is
get a
going.
chance, if you're on Facebook this evening or tomorrow, please go share. There's a referendum series for the lagoon. They're very short, 30-second videos. They're on Save Our Lagoons page. And just go like and share them. Courtney's was posted yesterday with Dwayne Freeze, Catherine Rudd.
Those are good, too, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And tomorrow we've actually got, Tom Williamson, the TDC Tourism Board Chairman. And the day after that, we've got the Executive Director from Melbourne Main Street, and we've got an astronaut, I forgot his name. And then we've got Frank Catino.
I wonder if we could get CJ Hopkins.
I've been trying to get a hold of Guy Slater. I can't get through, obviously. But
CJ would be
But
just
CJ's
as good.
local, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Does anyone here know him?
Everybody I know says they know them.
Yeah, you
I
know
know,
what,
that's the thing. Everyone says they know him.
We have a guy, Justin Purser, we went to high school with, is doing a documentary on
You
that.
know him?
Yeah, I know him.
Help me out.
Yeah, a lot of people here know him because he grew up here.
For the
So.
turtles, for the lagoon.
My
Talk
husband
to
knows
him
him.
and see if he
so.
can get, okay. I mean, I don't know, but Justin,
Yeah.
I'll tell him I'll beat him up.
Get Sam, you know.
He lives in California.
Yeah.
He knows.
Well, Sam actually suggested it. That's why when he did mine, he's like, you should get CJ to do that. And I was like, that's a
Well,
really
Sam
good
probably
idea.
could too,
That's
right?
so that was Sam's idea. He was like, getting somebody like that would be a big deal.
Yeah,
It would, because our whole community, literally lives through those
Right.
guys.
yeah. I mean, they grew up here. I remember
Yeah.
watching them
I'll
walk.
see if they're here. They might not be here, but we'll check. Just go through Jeremy too, and I'll go through Sam and see if we
Yeah.
can.
Thank you.
Okay.
And agenda items for the next meeting.
Justin.
Have we set a date for the next meeting yet?
I think it's typically it's always the third Wednesday.
Yeah, I think this one just got moved around because I think
Fourth
tomorrow.
Wednesday, but that's going to be awful close to Thanksgiving, I think.
It's the day before Thanksgiving.
Don't think that's a good day.
Could we put that to the 30th? Would that be okay?
Where are we at? The week after.
Yeah, it'd be a week after. It looks like we're closing the 16th, and I think I have to go to my in-laws that week. I have to check with the boss.
And when we do that, probably ought to look at December too, because I have a feeling.
I just want to go on record saying that I'm super jealous of the two guys sitting here who are not looking at a calendar. The two people, only two people up here that are not looking at a calendar right now, I'm jealous.
Don't carry my calendar
They don't celebrate Thanksgiving there in Canada.
December's going to be tough.
Can I just remind you what we did last year, was we did a middle, like halfway in between.
Combining November, December.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we did last year, we did like an earlier.
Yeah, because
November meeting.
the fourth Wednesday in December is the 28th, and that ain't
don't wanna do
I
that.
think we did like the second week in December or something.
Yeah.
Something
Cover
like
both
that, yeah.
months.
Food for thought, I believe Orb is December the 3rd, which is coming up. And that is a big event here in Satellite Beach. It's a very sustainable, friendly event. I mean, I believe we wanted to have some representation there ourselves. So the 30th puts us 4 days before the Orb, if we wanted to try to put something together for that.
For the what?
I'm going to be there again. I'm going to be there 100%, but I'm going to be doing what I did last year.
I understand.
Talking in 200-foot slide line, so kind of out of the loop.
Yeah, that's a question. If we're only going to have one more meeting, are we going to be involved with the Ocean Reef Beach? And if so, we need to discuss that. Not 3 or 4 days before.
You might want to meet in the middle then of the month, so we can plan what you want to do. Ocean Reef Beach is December 3rd.
Yeah.
Do you want to meet on the,
The 16th is because the 23rd comes right before
16th is
the
Thanksgiving.
city council meeting?
Yeah.
If you guys set up where I'm going to be set up, I could help man, the table, because I'm going to be there all day, but I've already got a designated spot that I'm in, so unless you guys can.
I can take a shift, but the 16th would be okay for me if we wanted to do the 16th.
It's council.
It's a council meeting.
Okay, no.
If we do the 30th, I mean, you all could, we would have time to set up booths, but, just
you
want
want
to
to-
discuss it on the 30th.
I can, 15th or the 17th?
15th looks better.
15th, yeah.
You talking November?
November 15th is a Tuesday.
Yeah, what month are we in? And then what would we do for December?
Skip it, I would think.
Okay.
Deal with that on the 15th, maybe?
Okay.
That would be my motion.
I just wondered if we were going to combine.
I don't know.
was just thinking.
We got these holidays coming up.
Right.
So, okay.
It's Kwanzaa, it's not even on here. It's prejudiced.
So you want to meet on the 15th? Is that okay with everybody?
Actually, I'll go off. I just realized, I'm on that whole week,
Are you?
so, yeah.
Perfect. November 15th.
Well, if we do that, then we can plan for the Ocean Reef Beach and figure if there's anything worth talking about in December.
So that would be the agenda item for November 15th, is org. And then I'll have an update again on helpthebeach.com, the bag campaign, see how much we've raised by that point. What's cool is if this works, I should be able to have really good data for each meeting, so we'll be able to know exactly where we're at and how we're doing.
So we can have the bags, and we can have maybe a big presentation size design of the community garden.
Yeah, it'd be great. Did you see the signs I had made yet? Do you have, those are back in the thing. I can just, you'll see them tomorrow. I can get more of them for Orb or for whatever we need for the Schechter Center, wherever you guys want to put them. They're probably like $20 each laminated, 25-ish with tax and such.
Okay.
So the 15th?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Are we going to have, like a second go-round of what we tried to do at the last meeting with Dr. Lindeman and going through that assessment together? I mean, it was pretty clear at that time that, well, I for one, and I think probably a lot of us weren't, at the stage with that, well, we hadn't really thoroughly read it, I think, and he was expecting just to take a few questions here and there, and none of us were prepared. Are we going to do that again, or no?
I mean, we can, if you would like.
No, I don't feel like it's necessary. I was just kind of under the impression that that's what we were going to do, and then when the agenda came for this, I was kind of surprised we didn't have that. I mean, I felt really bad about it, honestly, the way it kind of went that night. But
No, it's okay. No, that's fine. Unless you want it. I mean, we weren't planning on it, but.
no, I mean, having read it since then, having gone through it pretty thoroughly, I mean, it looks to me just about exactly what I thought it was going to look like from before when we talked about how the assessment was done.
Right.
And everything, and it doesn't look like there's anything for us to make any kind of recommendation on.
It's just
or
kind of
anything.
you're accepting it,
Yeah, well, I accept it.
Yeah, good.
And what about, there's some stuff that we emailed around, I mean, that we've been emailing back and forth on, like with regard to the balloon question, the balloon ban, not really ban, but balloon ban.
Yeah, we'll put that on your
Is that
agenda
all?
next month,
Okay,
because that was,
so at this meeting that we're talking about now?
15th.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can stick that on the 15th,
And what was the other thing?
or in
Was that-
December.
Seems like there were two things that, maybe not. Maybe that was it. That was the only thing I was thinking of. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, I suppose if someone were to move that we adopt the minutes of the last meeting, we could probably,
I'd like to move that we adopt the minutes of the last meeting.
Member Paul so moved,
Second.
Member Floyd seconded.
John Fergus,
Yes.
Eugene Matthews,
Yes.
Cindy Gibson,
Yes.
David Floyd,
Yes.
Josh Paz,
Yes.
Jeff Chasteen,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, meeting adjourned.
What time did they start?
Oh, probably about 30 minutes ago.